hijacked a plane, demanded $200,000, jumped into the storm, and was never found. Who was D.B. Cooper? November 24, 1971, Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 is on a routine trip from Portland to Seattle. Passengers are settling in. Among them, a quiet man in a dark business suit and sunglasses. Identifying himself as Dan Cooper, he appears unremarkable. He orders a bourbon and soda from the flight attendant. He sips it calmly. So far, just another flight or so, it seems.
Hey.
Shortly after takeoff, as the plane flies towards Seattle, Cooper signals the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. He hands her a folded piece of paper. Thinking it might be a lonely businessman's phone number, she initially pockets it.
Hey.
But Cooper leans closer. "Miss," he says quietly, "you'd better look at that note." "I have a bomb." Startled, Florence reads the note. Its message is clear and chilling. Cooper calmly asks her to sit beside him. He briefly, partially opens his briefcase, revealing enough for her to see red cylinders and wires, something that looks terrifyingly real. His demands are specific: $200,000 in unmarked bills, and for parachutes. Why for? Florence relays the terrifying message to the cockpit. The pilot contacts Seattle Air Traffic Control, informing them of the situation. On the ground, authorities scramble to meet the strange demands. The FBI gets involved. Time ticks by with agonizing slowness for everyone aboard, except, perhaps, for Cooper himself, who remains eerily calm. As ordered, the plane lands at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. It taxis to a remote, dimly lit area. The $200,000, carefully counted, and the requested parachutes are brought aboard. Cooper then allows all passengers and some of the crew to leave the plane unharmed. A calculated move, but he keeps the pilots and one flight attendant. The plane refuels. Cooper is not done yet. Cooper gives new instructions. Fly towards Mexico City, but stay below 10,000 feet. Keep the landing gear down, flaps at 15 degrees, and maintain the slowest possible airspeed without stalling. These are highly unusual, dangerous flight conditions, especially at night in worsening weather. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, over a rugged, forested area amidst a rainstorm, Cooper does the unthinkable. He calmly tells the remaining crew to stay in the cockpit. He goes to the rear of the plane. The aft stairs, a unique feature of the 727, are lowered into the freezing night air. And then D.B. Cooper, carrying the money, steps off the stairs and vanishes into the stormy darkness. A massive search operation begins immediately, scouring the suspected jump zone. But nothing is found. No Cooper, no parachute, no money. It's as if he evaporated into thin air. The FBI investigation, codenamed Noryuk, becomes one of the longest and most extensive in U.S. history. Hundreds of suspects are considered, but none are definitively identified as D.B. Cooper. Then in 1980, nearly 9 years later, a young boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River finds 3 packets of the ransom money, partially decomposed, but identifiable by serial number. It only deepens the mystery. How did it get there? Where is the rest? Who was D.B. Cooper? Was he an experienced skydiver, or just incredibly lucky or unlucky? Did he survive the perilous jump into the wilderness that night? Or did the forest claim him and his fortune? Decades later, the case remains officially unsolved. The identity and fate of the phantom hijacker lost somewhere in the vast American landscape. Or perhaps living quietly among us, the legend endures. And what do you think? Comment below. If you want to know more stories like this, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.